there's this trifecta, or maybe even more than trifecta connection that happens here with regards to where you are, the industry that you help serve, be it, multifamily real estate, kind of, renters, and your ability to share stories, tell stories, inspire people, inspire action. Let's talk about Experian. What's this role meant to you so far, and what are you excited about with the work that you're doing today?
Yeah. Thank you. I love that question, and it goes back to um, that question that I said I asked myself, as I was going into the nonprofit space, is like, hey, like Charles, in an ideal world with no bills, what would you do for free? Well, Experian just put out an initiative at our sales kickoff where, all our kids, we asked our kids, like, hey, like, what does daddy do for work? And my kids, all of them, they said the the unanimous response was, dad just eats all day and talks to his friends at work. That's what dad does. And so that answers my question of, ideal world with no bills, what would I do for free? I would eat all day and I would talk to my friends. And I'm just being a little bit facetious there, but I think that's what I enjoy Experience because you know that story is unrelated to Experience except for it is. There was a video that was put out about how do you involve your kids into like how do they see your role on a day-to-day basis. And I don't that makes me proud of a company that cares to involve my children, and that my children will probably remember to some capacity this whole exercise being done. And then that whole video that I made was strung together with thousands of other Experian employees, and we all got to see it, and we felt connected to each other in a way that we probably wouldn't have otherwise. And but as an aside of like Experian, I came from a low income family where we just didn't understand finances. We didn't get it. And we would do the same things over and over and over and expect a different response, the definition of insanity. And somehow through sports I was able to become a first generation college graduate. And as a first generation college graduate, I was afforded much more opportunities. But even after I graduated and I was now educated, I get my first apartment, and they get at that time they gave you an option um, uh, to ask for your credit report to be sent to you. And I got my credit report because I was curious, and I had zero concept or clue as to what went into the numbers that I got. They were all misconceived notions as to how that goes. So although I was educated, I was still ignorant uh, as to what went into my credit.
Mm.
And so one of the things that I'm excited about Experian, and why that was a really attractive opportunity to me was because I see that you could still be an educated person in America and still have zero concept of credit. Now, it may not
Hmm.
affect you as much because you have more money to play with, as opposed to someone who's low income. It still is a sad fact that you have really wealthy individuals who are just in a really bad place financially,
Mm.
as far as their ability to handle their finances because they don't understand their credit or they don't understand even how to manage their finances. And then you have like the low income people who are like they don't even understand how to get ahead or get from where they are now because
Yeah.
it's almost as if everyone has a ball to play at the playground and they don't even understand the rules of the game. So
Yeah.
they can't even get in and go play wall ball with everyone else because like they just don't get it. They don't know where it is. And so I love Experience for that fact because we pride ourselves at teaching people how to build credit, how to understand credit, like making it less cryptic and demystifying credit because it shouldn't be complicated. But I think it is complicated for many people because high school, middle school, parents, system, you blame it on whoever you want, but people are not being taught it. And I
I'm
will kind
gonna.
of go ahead.
No, go
Go ahead.
ahead. Go ahead, please.
No, and I was just gonna say, explain like very quickly, like all credit is it's just saying, hey, Charles loaned money to Chris, and Charles asks another buddy of Chris, let's say Rob, um, for money as well. Well, Rob reaches out to you, Chris, and he says, "Hey, did Charles pay back that money? And if he did it take 3 years? Did he pay it back when he told you?" And Rob needs some kind of assurance that if he loans money to me, that he's going to get it back.
Hmm.
And ultimately, that's all credit is. And I think that there's a misnomer. And it's like it's confusing to people because people are often people like at conferences. People always ask me like, "Hey, you work at Experian, can you fix my credit?" That's people ask me that all the time, like literally all the time, and they're being facetious in some capacity. I think some people are serious too, but we're really just the ledger, right? We're just demonstrating, oh, like, did you pay your bills? Did you not pay your bills? And now there's some aspects of just the system of credit, historically speaking, that are that we are starting to see that we didn't see, in the past that we're trying to um, fix. Right. One of those things is that we have a product called Experian Lift. And Experian Lift or Experian Boost and Experian Go. Some of those products are really put in place for immigrants, right? So if you came over to the States, our credit system is super weird. Like not, so it's not only just weird to us here, but they're like, you want me to go into debt to to prove
Right.
that I'm good with credit, even though I
Hmm.
pay all my bills? That's weird. Like, and so we have products like that that are helping to recognize what we call credit invisibles, people who like don't have any credit, and give them credit so they can actually start playing in our financial system, right? And I like to think of it as a game. Like
Mm.
it's a game because you come over here as an immigrant and you're like, why do I want to play that game? That doesn't seem very fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to play that game. And especially like some African countries, like it's really bad to have debt. America is really weird, but we think debt is a kind of a good thing, and so it's kind of counterintuitive to some people. But those are things that we're putting together